36, and I'm going to do a video um, of why I lost or why I'm losing. It's a 6-round game, and I'll probably lose in the 6th or 7th round. Concede. Let's look at the bid placement. This is $59 against Andrew AA Gamer. He is one of the best in the world. I would maybe say he's one of the best Axis players in the world. But the game is, like he says, Axis and Allies, so I will concede that it is not bifurcated between Axis or the Allies. But when one side is favored and and constantly gets a bid, then you know that that side is the side with the advantage. And of course, that's that's the way it is in Axis and Allies, that the Axis have the advantage. So, anyways, we won't get into that. Two fighter with $59, I bought 2 fighters, and I placed one in Russia and one in Volgograd. That's for the Yunnan Gambit. And then I strengthened the Chinese, placing 1 infantry in Yunnan. And then bid placement, 1 fighter, 4 subs. Let's see where I put them. Fighter in Scotland. Don't think that's a wise anymore. I don't like that. 7, 111, 106, and 191, and 98. So, it's a good exercise to imagine you as the Axis player. What would you do against this? Obviously, 106, often we lose that. So let's see how his first turn goes. So he's going to buy a patient Moscow Crush. All right, he does commit to this in a big way. Now, I think, honestly speaking, if I was to evaluate this again, because I chose to put a fighter and a sub here, I should have known that he was going to use his sub somewhere else. The obvious other location would have been here. So this was actually a waste. I would consider that a waste. Let's just take a look. I don't think there's any huge questions. 110 is going to fall. That makes sense. And of course, a lot of times you submerge. That dies with no effect. Successful France, keeping all the good stuff. So my only fault here would be a unforced error, would be putting the sub here, because it just didn't make any sense, because I had already made 111 prohibitive. So that would be my one error. And then let's take a look at how he manages at this. All right, so pretty normal. He just posts up here, all the planes here. Didn't even have to send a fighter diver here, and then puts down here for the prevent defense against Taranto. Everything is solid and normal. I would say a couple things. One is I would say this is, I think, unusual and portends the possibility of dropping a fleet here. And also, of course, will be useful in trying to hunt this down. All right, we'll see what the new, the boosted Russians do. They buy 10 infantry and 2 mech. I don't think that's a bad purchase. I do declare war on Japan, but that's just the, what's it called, a performa. So, all right, and we'll see what I look like in placements. I wanted to play a what we might call a cab forward design, and that's to push on the front as much as possible with, just to try to have them see something different. Okay, and then over here, we have this going on. Okay. And then I position in Buryatia. Pretty standard there. Obviously, some people would have 6 in Yakut. I don't. All right, let's see who he's trying to win with here. All right, so then 3 transports, 1 infantry. And let's see what he does. I'm just going to take it all the way down. We have all seen this many, many times. He's going to leave more in Manchuria than normal. Obviously, aware that I like KJF. And puts 4 here. Pretty bold, but you know, he is ready to go. Looking like a J what? Looking like a J2. Nice Navy here, stripped of the aircraft. I don't know what's here. This should be a lot of aircraft. Don't know why that is there. Let's see. Alright, and this is the big move that would be unusual. Declare it, loses the $10, takes French Indo. That should be, you know, your ears should perk up at that. The rest of this is pretty normal. This is obviously for a pickup on the transports. And I would say this is somewhat abnormal to in the sense that these usually you'd see planes here. All right, let's keep going. All right, what am I going to do? I am going to try to, I don't know, intimidate? I don't know. So, not sure this is the best move, but I thought I'd show him something different again. The amazing amount of forces can move to Wake Island, so I thought, well, I'll show that to him. Extends protection over the 20 units of 23, and captures right away the fighter from Philippines. Moved everything over for KJF. And so the one obviously negative here is that I am communicating to Germany that you are the force that can win this game. The Japanese will not be winning this game for the Axis. It's got a lot of pressure, both from the Russians and from the Americans. So a lot of times Hawaii would have done pretty much the same job. It wouldn't have picked up the aircraft, which I really wanted, and I didn't think he was going to do a J2. I don't think at this point in time I thought he was going to do a J2. Oh, I built a sea base here. So that was a big cost of money. And it was supposed to be, like I said, showing him something new. I think I'll repeat that again and again and again. Let's take a look at what the Chinese did. They do have their Burma Road, but they have, now this was foolish. Okay, so if I blamed anything, this was dumb. I don't know why I did that. That should have been here, or it should have been here in Burma. This was a brain fart, a huge mistake. I do not know why I did that. And probably the game is over right there, believe it or not. It's that big of an error. Let's see what I purchase. Don't know what I was thinking. And it wasn't even a combat move. It was just a power move into that zone. I know I was trying to eat up Japanese troops, but there's just too many airplanes in the area. All right, let's examine this purchase. Okay, so I am looking to hold ground in the Atlantic. Okay, just to let you know, that's going to steal money from the Middle East. So I've got to do really well in the Middle East. And it's also, but I do have one mech that's going to go into Africa. Africa arithmetic. see how it goes. And then down here, 6 infantry. I don't critique that at all. Let's take a look at what I did. So I boost 2, 2, and 2, thinking, hey, look, you've got to, if you're going to attack 2 players, you've got to send, 3 planes and at least 2 guys, maybe 4 planes. So it's a lot of work. I don't know why that's not showing up. 1 infantry, 2 artillery, and 9 fighters. Okay. And transport activates Persia. Trying to get some men in there. I like this. This isn't terrible. Didn't do Taranto. Spread my troops out, so it's going to be a little hard for him to take these out, and there's repercussions for that, obviously, because I can jump right back in. This here move of the aircraft carrier grabs the fighters from India and puts them into action right away. The battleship went to 54. I don't feel bad about this stuff. I did try to capture. No, I didn't. Yeah, I didn't think this was terrible. This was to block Gibraltar, I think. So I guess I'm not 100% sure why I did that. I don't like Gibraltar games. And that should have been offloaded. So that was a mistake. I was trying to be in his face about this, which, second turn, this looks tremendous. And I wouldn't want to distance myself from this. This is the only, it's a good defense, right? Just like the other day we learned it's a good defense. The only thing I'm worried about is here. And I've chosen to do blockers, which is costly. I don't like that. But I think I was trying something where he would spread his navy out here, 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 and then I would be able to take his navy out in detail. But I think instead he's going to take me out in detail. Let's see what he does. And he does take out everything. No, he takes out 2 of the 4. I'm sure he'll take these out with the Germans. Loses nothing. Okay, let's take a look at how much he's making. $15. I don't think there's anything disastrous yet. This was probably a bit of an overcommitment with the sub and destroyer, so I lost the sub that I had gained. So that, maybe, I might say that. And let's take a look here. I'm backing off, so I like to give way to the Italians, get them going this way, then they can, the US can recapture and gain $3. And then this is fine. Could have flew that out of there. The scramble options are there. So I could have flown it out of there. Anzac moves down to oppose the Italians. Confident in Egypt. That destroyer over there, I knew what I was going to do, and it was to put pressure. I like the Java move. I might have thrown the airplanes over there. The purchase for Anzac was one sub. I like that buy. I'm not a big. I feel like making Hawaii and Java into a fortress loses the naval war, concedes the naval war to Japan. So I'd kind of rather have a fight in Japan in the Pacific, and obviously I'm going to make it a fight. And pretty obviously, these fighters stay behind to protect this navy. The battleship could only reach here, so I would have had to send the battleship somewhere else. All right, that's my first round. I'm going to pause this and do more later.
All right, it's like 6 hours later, 7 hours later, and I have to stop here. But that's um, turn one, and why I'm losing this game because of particularly that Q Chow and also the sub placement there that really shouldn't have gone there. Um, like I said, I'm pretty happy about that, but I do have to babysit that, and that's a problem for obviously there as well as obviously later on. This move to strengthen the Pacific meant that if anybody was going to win the game, it would be Germany. And I think that's probably we're going to find out later that's the case. All right, crock it out.